Morning guys. So I'm going to make a quick video on how to diagnose why your first gen Cummins is bogging down at higher PMs or won't even idle very well or just dies. And so the first thing you're probably noticing is that when you rev it up, it'll start to bog down. It's not getting enough fuel. And if you have your smoke screw turned up, you will not see any fuel out the back. There's no spark obviously on these diesels, so that's not an issue. It's almost always fuel. And the block is pretty much bulletproof, so it's probably something with the fuel because you're not going to be losing compression or anything like that. So if you're having issues with your first gen bogging down, and specifically the VE pump, as you start to like rev on it, will just bog on you or lose power. This is what you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is change your fuel filter. That's the easiest thing. Test it out, see if that fixes it. If it doesn't fix it, the next thing you're going to do is check your fuel shutoff solenoid. Now there's a few different things that you need to do here. So your fuel shutoff solenoid is right here. It's this piece right here. Now what you're gonna do first is make sure that the connection that the wire that's connecting it, there should be two from factory. The one that's right here is the main power one. Make sure that that connection is tight. So try that out. If that doesn't fix the problem, run a wire straight from your fuel shutoff solenoid straight to your battery, because that will eliminate any shorts or anything in this wire. So if that fixes it, then great. You're gonna have to rewire something or check your wiring. And also when you run it straight to your battery, straight to here, it's getting full 12 volt power, no ground. So if that works, great. If that doesn't work, the next thing you're gonna do is pull this thing out. Pull out your fuel shutoff solenoid. It's a 15/16 wrench that you'll need. Pop that out and you'll see a little plunger in the bottom. Take that plunger out with the spring and then put this back in. And what that'll do is that'll eliminate, it'll just be a free flowing, and you'll have to just turn your truck off with this right here. But if you just push this, it'll turn it off. But what can happen with these fuel shutoff solenoids is the magnet in here, when it'll lose its power and it won't hold that plunger up all the way, and it'll bog down. It'll get some fuel by, but not enough. Okay, so after that, if you've determined that this is not the issue and you've done all that and it's still not working, the next thing you're gonna do is check your fuel pump. Now there's a little primer lever on the fuel pump. You can feel around, you can kind of see it right there. I'll circle it. Now you might have to bump your engine over so that the little the camshaft is in the right spot, so you can actually get some pressure on there. Now if you push that little plunger down, if you bump it over and eventually get to the spot where you can feel that pressure on there, that means your fuel pump is good and it's sucking, and there's pressure in there on the diaphragm, so that's good. The fuel pump's probably not your issue if you're running into this issue. And then the last thing you're gonna check on the fuel system here is the line that goes to your tank. I would disconnect it from your fuel pump and take your air compressor and blow it out right back into your tank. And if that fixes it, then you know that there's something in your tank that's plugging up your fuel sending unit. So I'd pull that and steam it or clean it or whatever. Now, once you've done all that and you still aren't fixed, what you're gonna wanna go do is check all of your fuel lines and your boundary bolts and make sure they're all tight. So on mine specifically, let's see if you can see it here. That bolt right there was loose. I don't know how it got loose because I've never touched it, probably just a shaky old Cummins, but I pressurized my system. So I took my my air chuck and pressurized, I put that right into the fuel pump and just gave it some air, and I saw bubbles coming out of there. So tighten that up and she's good to go. So if you have any questions, leave a comment and I will do my best to help you out. But if you're bogging down on the road, I can 99% guarantee it's one of those issues. It's either your fuel filter's clogged, your fuel shutoff solenoid isn't getting power, or it's worn out, your fuel pump isn't working, or your fuel sending unit is clogged, or there might be a leak in your rubber lines. So you could always check your lines, pressure them up, get a buddy to go into the truck and see if you can hear any hissing through your fuel lines going right to your tank. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure all your fittings are tight and you should be good to go. I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you in the next video.